I've always been someone who people can come and cry on my couch. I've always loved having that role and making a cozy space for people to just come and bear it all, and I can sit with their feelings. And that's something that I really enjoy and has been an easy pivot into becoming a therapist for me. I've been in the tech world for 6 years working with customers, and that kind of thinking has helped me build empathy for folks and shown me the right questions to ask to get to the root of things. I'm still really deciding to be a therapist every day, and what that role means for me is going to be different with every client I see. So I've been in Chicago for over 10 years, and I grew up in Illinois. In my family, I was the oldest child and have always been seen as the most emotional one, and that wasn't always a positive growing up. But after some work and getting to know myself and my own therapy, it's really been a skill and something I love about myself, having that intimate knowledge of my emotions, my feelings, my kind of internal landscape has helped me in work with clients and others to get comfortable with that internal world for themselves as well. I was the first person in my family to go to therapy, and I was really nervous because I didn't think my problems were big enough to go to therapy. I was just a little sad every day for many hours, crying many hours. It wasn't big enough, but that was definitely not the case. And seeing my therapist for the first time and kind of understanding myself in that way has been a huge part of my life since then. Personally, what gives me joy and gives me energy is one-on-one coffee with a friend. I love sitting with a cup of coffee, getting into how we're doing, talking about what's going on in our lives, and that's what I'm pursuing in my career, is also one-on-one connection with folks, getting into the nitty-gritty of what's going on with us. That one-on-one connection has always been a big part of who I am. Something I love about working with clients in the therapy room is you get to create a space to not just talk about how you're doing or what's going on, but really get to the next layer underneath of, this is who I am, this is how I am, but why? What is kind of making me tick? What is kind of informing the way that I'm living? And if I want to make a change, kind of let's get to that underneath root part and see if that can help inform us how to move forward. So when I recall my first client that I saw, in the beginning they were really apologetic about their feelings, their opinions, their thoughts, and by the end of the session I could just see them bloom in confidence and having that space for themselves. Therapy is a place where you can practice new ways of thinking, new ways of communicating in a safe space so that you can stretch your legs and do it for real when the rubber meets the road. So a lot of the work in therapy is learning how to be your most authentic self. And that can mean a lot of things, but it really boils down to bringing all the parts of yourself with you into therapy, the parts that you really love and the parts that don't get that extra care, and giving everything attention and giving all those parts that extra care so you can leave back out into the world with your whole authentic self. All the parts, even the scary ones, are cared for. If you are considering counseling at all, I would just say go for it. Nothing is too small, nothing is too scary to bring someone in to talk about it and work on it. If you think it's important, it's important.